everyone, this is Simone, and I am super excited because for the next 25 days, a bunch of friends and I will be bringing you a planner advent calendar. I have asked John Rush, I don't know if you know him, but if you don't, you need to know him, Ellie from Ellie's Corner, my friend Dakshina, who uses a B6 and Amanda from Ink Imperfections. Well, and the last one is me, Simone, to participate in an advent calendar. And each of us will be doing 5 videos to show and share with you. And we will be talking about different topics. We invite you to play along. If you have a YouTube channel, do the same, answer the same questions we do. If you want to journal about them, please feel free to tag us when you upload a picture on Instagram so that we can see. The first question or the first video is an introduction. Who actually are we and what do we do? So I was trying to get this into focus. This is me when I was about 5-ish, maybe 4 years old. I'm wearing these super cool pants that my mom made for me. And I actually don't really know where this photo is coming from, why it is cut out. I just found it and put it into my ephemera box, and I thought that this would be the perfect time to add it to my journal. So I am Simone. I'm turning 44 in February, and I love to plan and play with papers. And I have a YouTube channel where I share all of my paper. And actually, I started to film infrequent yarn talk videos as well, where I share my love for knitting and crocheting and all the things pertaining to fabric. Wow, now that was hard to say. And the first question that I'm going to answer is, how did you get into planning? That is actually, I don't remember how I started this kind of planning. I have been a paper stationery addict all my life. I remember buying a stamp album for stamps in our local grocery store. I remember spending lots of my allowance on all of those cool things. They had this tiny, tiny stationery section, and I had to have all the things. But just recently, I remember that I dove into bullet journaling after I have watched a video by writer Carol, and I don't really know how I found out about them. I think it was through a magazine. When then I looked up the internet site, and then just tried it in a different what is the word? The English word for heft, like a journal, like a tiny, like an insert. Wow. How do you say that in a notebook? That's what it is. Mostly A5 size, because that's just a nice size to use. And then I stopped. It didn't really work. It was too much writing. The calendar that writer Carol uses in his original method, and that's how I started out, didn't really work for me. And so I stopped using a bullet journal. And then I started scrapbooking, and I am self-taught and watched lots of YouTube videos, and someone recommended Coco Daisy to me. And I looked up the whole design team of Coco Daisy and found Doris Sander. She has a YouTube channel that she doesn't upload to anymore, but her videos are still there. You can go check her out. I loved the way she used the Coco Daisy Dory type of planner for her planning, and that is what got me hooked on traveler's notebooks and wanting to use the same thing. And that's how I fell down the rabbit hole again after I moved here. I had this teeny tiny, maybe 2 week episode with a happy planner that didn't work for me. And ever since, I have been using Cocoa Daisy inserts, Traveler's Notebook inserts. I after I used Traveler's Notebooks, I still used lots of Cocoa Daisy stuff in different formats. And right now, I am using the Hobonichi Cousin, as you can see. Not for planning anymore, more for journaling. Right now, I'm just using a pocket notebook for my to-do list and my yeah, like all the way down the line planning. The next thing is what the next question that I'm answering is, what are your current favorites? And I have been loving to stamp again. I'm trying to do that more now. And so I stamped this pen. I really, really enjoy, especially on the Tomoe River paper. There is hardly any bleed through with fountain pens, and the pens glide smoothly over the paper. The writing experience is just so superior to any other pen that you can use that I totally enjoy using my fountain pens in here. And the ones that I like most at the moment is the TWSBI Echo and the Lamy Safari. I have been using Lamy Safaris for 35 years, um, since we had to write with a fountain pen in school. And the next favorite pen that I use is this Uni Jetstream. It is a width of 0.5, and this particular one, or the ones that I am using, are the 3-color multi pens with black, blue, and red ink. And sometimes when I'm in the mood, or I have been doing that in the beginning of the year, I color coded my to-do list, my weekly plans, and all that. And I really enjoyed having this one pen with 3 different colors. And then for my Hobonichi weeks, it's so strange that I'm using different pens in the same brand book, but the paper color of the Hobonichi is a lot yellower. So I love using the Muji 0.5. 0.5 seems to be the width of like gel inks and hybrid ballpoint pen inks that I prefer most. So that I love the stark blackness of the pen, of the Muji pen. That is a, what did I say? A gel pen. And then, as you can see, I found this washi tape from London Gifties. It has a date stamp. I love this self-inking date stamp that I purchased from Amazon. If you type in date stamp, there's gazillions of different ones, and you can, I think the difference between lots of them is how big the letters are. I will link the one. I don't even know if it's the one that I have, but I'll link one that a similar one, in the description box below. And then other current favorites are Tomoe River paper, and I also enjoy the stark opposite, not really. It's Clairefontaine paper. It is a lot heavier. It has a lot more, well, weight, same thing, but the feel, it's hardier, but it's also very, very smooth. And pens, again, fountain pens glide over this paper very easily. I don't think I have used watercolor on that paper yet, and so I really want. I still have some pages in the Rhodia notebook that I have used in 2018, I think. Um, I still have some pages left in there, so I think what I'm going to do is try and see how watercolor performs on that paper, because my idea, and you will see that in an upcoming advent calendar video, is to maybe use a Rhodia notebook in 2021 for something. But I will talk about that in that video. Now I'm looking through this washi tape. Again, this is London Gifties washi tape, to find something that I could put down there, but I didn't find anything. I was looking for a watercolor palette that I could put there, because that is another thing that I really enjoy using in my journaling and in my planning, if I had to pick some of the things that I would take onto a deserted island, like stationery items, I would totally go um, and put watercolors on the very top of my list. So I decided instead of this is the one that I'm using right now. It is the base is a pocket palette from Cotman, Winsor and Newton Cotman, and then I purchased some watercolors, just the ones that pleased my eye at a local watercolor art store, and then I also added two of the big pans from my other watercolor set. I put them into metal tins, and the White Knight St. Petersburg one also comes in a plastic tin, and so I moved it over into a metal tin, and there were two spaces, or I had two more pans than I had spaces in that metal pen, and so I decided to just move them in here to complete the palette. So I have a tiny one and a large one. Um, this tiny one is totally perfectly fine. I have been using this for over a year now, and it still doesn't. I mean, it looks used, yes, but it's not empty by all means. So instead of adding a stamp or a sticker, I am just using a brush to write watercolors. And what else am I going to do here? I need to let this dry, so I don't know what I'm going to do in the meantime. I think I stopped the video and just waited and then continued filming. And then another thing that is really important to me in not really journaling, but more in planning or in the memory planning thing that I do on the weekly pages right now on in the Kaizen is I love using character stickers. It's just I love buying character stickers. It doesn't say current favorites in using. I just enjoy the way they look. They're cute. No other reason for that. And then my dear friend Jelly sat on my paper when I was ready to move on. I wanted to show him his face, but he didn't want to look up into the camera. So, well, I'm not showing him to you, but he sat there and watched YouTube. So I was like, okay, dude, move over. I need to continue working on this video. What was your last purchase is the next question. And I'm very happy that I filmed this before Black Friday. I did not go into Black Friday with the intention of buying anything. In fact, I had thought that I wasn't going to participate in it this year. Well, my husband didn't feel well, so I was left alone. My kids, we did a social media detox week, and for some reason, we completely fell off that on Black Friday. And I was alone. I didn't do anything. I watched YouTube videos and talked to my stationery friends, and that was a big mistake because I think I purchased stuff at Sticky Club. I think I purchased, London gift teas. Yep, right. Yeah, so on here, on this paper, I wrote that I participated in the 5th anniversary sale of Once More with Love. They are currently some of my favorite character stickers, so every time she releases something new, I'm really tempted. And she had this cute Christmas baubles. What was it? I'm talking about planner fails, so I need to catch up. I'm showing you what I shouldn't have bought, this traveler's notebook cover. Because look at the comparison between the thickness of the leather and the size of the notebook. I purchased Once More with Love stickers, and I filled my cart at London Gifties. I have been planning on purchasing with her for about a year now. I've never done it, and on Friday, I finally pulled the trigger when my friend Mar decided to share postage with me. Oopsie. Did some damage there. So the next question is, what is your biggest planner fail? I think I don't have a fail in that my planning failed, but two things I really need to say or point out here that maybe will help you prevent from doing the same mistakes. I'd thought that I needed the same leather covers that everybody else had. And at that point, that was Foxy Fix. I was like, am I going with Chic Sparrow or Foxy Fix? And for some reason, I decided on Foxy Fix because their colors were much brighter and more appealing to my eye. And what I found out was, first of all, that I so the first one was this Wanderlust, I think it is called, and it was such a thick leather, very heavy and huge. And I found that I just don't carry 20 inserts in one cover, and I just don't like using a cover that bulks up that much, and using so many inserts is just not me. So when after I purchased that traveler's notebook, my whole system fell apart because I thought I did something wrong. Obviously, if the cover is this fat, I need to use multiple notebooks, and it just didn't work for me. So instead of sticking with what I had originally gotten first, the traveler's notebook, the Midori one that I showed you first, which is perfectly, which you can use one notebook in there and it's perfectly fine. It looks good. It works well. It's not too heavy. Again, not too heavy, because that's another thing. When your planner is like pulling your bag down and you're like having to carry this huge klutz with you everywhere, I tend to not do that. So, well, that was that. And then the other thing that didn't work when I thought I needed a collections notebook, which I do kind of have now with my reference binder, but everybody that I was following suggested or had those lists like movies to watch, movies watched, series trackers, series to watch, books, read books, books to read. And I felt like a complete failure because I never referred to those lists. I just didn't. And I felt really bad. And instead of realizing that maybe that's just not me, I thought that I was doing something wrong because I didn't use those lists. And then the last one, moving on to the nicer part, is what is planner peace for you? And I think I have actually made several videos about that before, and I'm trying to keep myself really short here. But planner peace is, I would rather define what it is not. It is not finding the one perfect book or planner that I will use from now on until the end of my life. Like from now until forever. That is not what planner peace is for me. It is having a system, a weekly, monthly, daily routine that will help me keep up with my needs, like to-dos, chores, will help me not forget appointments, that will help me remember birthdays, that will help me keep my thoughts that I have in my head, and my head is full. And I'm kind of balancing this tray in my head full of little marbles, and each marble is a thought. And if it's too heavy, everything falls off because it just is overweight and they all fall to the floor. And so I need to put that somewhere, but in a way that I will review those ideas, thoughts, things in such a frequency that I can decide if I want to use them, want to do something with those thoughts, if writing them down, like here as journaling, memories, mental health things, journaling, kind of like maybe writing them down on paper is enough. And then I can put it away and it's done. Some things, like things, ideas that I want to do, appointments, I all of those things I need to review more frequently in order to decide if I'm just letting it go, if I maybe take today to do something from my ideas list. So I don't. It will help me not to forget things. It can change with the season I am in. Like the planner that I'm using, the system is going to be tweaked often because my life changes all the time. And it is manageable in long term, meaning that if, for instance, this thing right here is not manageable for me when life gets back to normal, and so I am already feeling that, and so I'm going to change it just a tiny bit in order to make it manageable for me again. And it is not to be confused, a planner piece with a working journaling routine, because that is not something that I have mastered yet. But I would think that I actually have mastered planner piece, or I have defined it in a way that I would say it works. My planner system works. I am at peace with it at the moment. And I know that if I'm not happy anymore, it's not because this planner has failed, but maybe because my life, my needs in my life have changed, and I will need to adapt what I'm using for planning and the way I am planning. Alrighty, so that is the first video. I'm still adding something on the bottom of this page because I just cannot leave empty spaces. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to read your answers to all of those questions. If you just want to plop it down in the comment section, I'm more than happy to talk to you and chat to you in the comment section below. And I am looking forward to seeing you again. I hope you enjoy everybody else's videos. There will be another video by, I don't remember to be honest, by someone tomorrow. And yeah, we will cycle through. Each one will do their video. Definitely, we all have our different styles. They will be all different. And I hope you will find someone new, or you will enjoy this December Advent calendar. I'm so glad we were able to pull this off, and I'm so grateful and thankful to all four of my friends that they were so, um, yeah, that they just said, yes, of course, we will participate. And I really enjoyed putting all of this together for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you do something that fills your cup today. And yeah, I will see you next time. I will put links to everyone that is participating in the description box below so that you can find them more easily. And see you next time. Bye.